countries in this world face poverty issues, whether it is small or large scale, especially in developing countries such as Africa and South Asia. Poverty is a state or situation in which the financial resources necessary for minimal living standards are lacking in an individual or society. This is the state when a person lacks of usual or society acceptable amount of money or material possession. In Islam, some initiative could be done in addressing this poverty issue, as Muslims take great care of the welfare of their own brothers and sisters despite the different countries and skin color. Zakat and Sadaqah are perfect examples in eliminate the poverty issue. The contribution of Zakat and Sadaqah give great benefits to all Muslims.
The question on what is Zakat and what is Sadaqah.
Zakat is an obligation alms given from the wealth of Muslims and intended for the Muslim poor and distressed, among others. Meanwhile, Sadaqah is a voluntary act of charity, fi sabilillah.
The third question is, who is eligible to receive Zakat?
There are 8 categories who eligible to receive the zakat. First is the poor, al-fuqara. The second one is the needy, al-masakin. The third one is zakat administrators. The fourth one is those whose hearts are to be reconciled, meaning new Muslims and friends of Muslim community. Fifth, those in bondage, such as slave and captive. Sixth, the debt-ridden. 7 is in the cause of God. 8, the wayfarer, meaning those who are stranded or traveling with few resources.
The next question is, what's the benefit of Zakat?
Zakat able to improve the soul being, because if one who gives zakat will create a sense of self-discipline as they follow the orders given by Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Moreover, those who give zakat will make themselves get closer to Allah as well as increase faith in Him. Furthermore, those who paying zakat will be rewarded by Allah. Lastly, it helps to build a balanced society as it helps the poorer to receive all the needs that they want so they don't feel left out.
Poverty. Poverty is one of the issues that always been a problem, not only in Malaysia, but also in other countries as well. Although the rich countries, such as United States, Canada and Russia, also face the poverty issue. Most of the time, poverty issue exists in rural area and the country which is not developed and financially unstable. So the question here is, how poverty become an economic, political and social issue?
Poverty rates really related to the economics of one country. The lower level of incomes and livings of the poor can bring down the economic productivity and stagnant growth of an economy in terms of health, nutrition and education. Economic will affected as the poverty rise, and it can lead the country to recession and inflation, which all countries want to prevent it from occurring. Next, the issue of poverty is affected by political. The volatility of economic growth will make the countries forever dependent on foreign aid. Poor people, more than any other community, depend on basic public services. Political instability, poor governance and corruption are today a significant phenomenon impacting poverty around the world. Last but not least, the issue of poverty also affects the social of a country. Kids who grow up in poverty suffer serious health issues, especially in rural areas. The chances for them to graduate from college are lower and tend to commit street crime such as grazing and robbing. The family that has a financial problem cannot afford their children's school fees and lead the children for not to attend the school.
Next, poverty can give an impact to the society and even ourselves. The question is, how does poverty affect you and the society?
Firstly, we need to know that poverty can be framed as a cycle by some generations. Unemployment and low incomes create an environment where children are unable to attend school. Children must often work to provide an income for their family. Next, poverty affects the safety and security of a person. Imagine that someone who do not live in a house and not have a door. They must have been exposed by the rain, storm and cold. As a human, things like that can make someone get fever or even a disease. For the security, the homeless person needs to protect themselves by the theft by their own risk. Furthermore, poverty also affects the health of a person. When someone does not have a home, it can cause their health to become worse. As an example, homeless people do not have clean water or cannot afford healthy food. They just take water or food without any doubt, no matter where it is. And the crucial part is when it comes for the children. Do you know that many children die because of do not have a proper home? From this, we can relate by the 17 SDG goals, which is goal 3, good health and well-being.
Next question is how to overcome poverty via zakat and sadaqah. Using zakat collection, it is feasible to suggest that authorities can use zakat collection to reduce the rate of poverty. Based on the report by the Federal Territorial Religious Council of Islam from the Zakat Collection Center, zakat collection has reached hundreds of millions of dollars each year. This amount is obviously large enough to assist the government in addressing the problem of poverty. Following the political structure in Malaysia, zakat is managed by each state. Each state has full rights and obligations in managing zakat. Therefore, it is easier to the authorities to find and distribute zakat collection to asnaf. Next, Sadaqah. Nowadays, many non-government organizations, NGO, help poor by collecting funds or charity. People mostly will make a Sadaqah through this NGO, and NGO will channel the donation to those people in need. NGO is defined as a non-profit making, voluntary, service-oriented organization working for the benefit of the society in general and a target group in particular.
Next, a question on what is the effectiveness of zakat and sadaqah.
Zakat and Sadaqah are the answer to reduce the poverty rates among people. This is because through Zakat and Sadaqah, many people who are poor get help and also can improve the country's economy when the poverty rate decreases. In addition, Zakat and Sadaqah can reduce the inability to live. Poor parents can use the assistance obtained from Zakat and Sadaqah to buy more nutritious food for their children and obtain adequate living needs. The implementations of Zakat and Sadaqah can be linked to UN Sustainable Development Goals, which are no poverty and good health and well-being. With the institutions of Zakat and Sadaqah from the community, these goals may be achieved by the country because it gives equal right to economic resources to all the people.
There are a lot of associations involved in the contribution of zakat and sadaqah to our society. The question is, what type of association is involved to the contribution of zakat and sadaqah to society?
The reason on why an association be the one to contribute is because to ease and be more systematic. As example, for zakat, there is the one who collects and contributes it for the people who in need. The association is Lembaga Zakat Selangor, LZS, Pusat Pungutan Zakat, PPZ, and many more. The association must have permission by the state or the country to contribute and collect zakat. However, there is a way to contribute zakat by ourselves and not through the association. The person itself must follow the procedures such as knowing who are the one that can receive zakat, how much amount should give, inform the association regarding the hukum and how you want to contribute it. On the other perspective, sadaqah, which it is meant by giving something without seeking for return, also have an association to contribute it.
Now, the next question is on the alternative provided by the government in order for them to using or to reduce the poverty rate or the possibility of poverty in Malaysia. So, what is your opinion or what do you think about the alternatives or endeavors provided by the government in order for them to eliminate or to decrease the poverty rate or the possibility of poverty in Malaysia?
Before we go down to the question, we need to know what exactly the alternatives provided by the government of Malaysia. So Malaysia has effectively transformed itself from a poor country into a middle-income nation ever since independence in 1957. For the government to reduce the issue of poverty, they need to plan and construct their framework. Malaysian government also came out with the policies created by them to help in reducing the problem of poverty. The policy involved a mixture of continuing welfare and a fresh drive for independent living. Improving welfare of students, building quality schools, and expanding the health facilities are the examples of the sectors that are prioritized by the government of Malaysia in decreasing the poverty rate in Malaysia. Enhanced capacity building was also improved, and a new project was also launched to take care of society's poor, or so-called bottom million. In my opinion, I think that the government of Malaysia has done a lot of endeavours in reducing the issue of poverty in Malaysia.